So, hi Sharon.
Hello.
So, we had your progress exam today. It's been 3 months since you first got started with treatment in our office. And I appreciate you being willing to share with people a little bit about your story. Can you just tell us a little bit about what made you want to come here in the first place and kind of what was going on with your health when you did?
Well, I was having trouble sleeping because my hands and my arms were going numb.
Mm-hmm.
So I had an MRI and I had some x-rays and I went to two surgeons and they both told me that I was just old, get over it. And I'm going to be 72 this month.
Amazing.
And my goal is to live to see Halley's Comet, which is 2062.
Okay.
So I'm not settling for I'm just old. And how will I be when I'm 10 years from now?
Sure.
So I saw your ad on YouTube. And so I decided to give it a try, and I came in, and I thought it's worth a try. So we started, and I didn't have to wait for the test results today. I already felt it.
Yeah.
You know, I was sleeping better, less pain in my arms, in my hands, in
So you're
my
saying
feet.
now, 3 months later,
3 months later.
Now that we're checking in today, we did your progress exam, and you've already noticed some changes in terms of sleeping better.
I think I had told you before that,
Correct.
you know, that you don't realize, we talked about the analogy of putting a frog in water and boiling it. You don't know, he boils to death because he doesn't notice it. Same thing with your feet.
Yes.
You don't really notice that you have numbness in your feet. I wasn't complaining about the numbness. I wasn't complaining about the neuropathy, but I can feel now that I'm getting feeling back in my feet. I didn't realize I had lost feeling in my feet.
Yeah.
It was more about the pain.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's much better, and my hands are much better.
Amazing.
Amazing, yeah. So I'm very happy. I feel like I'm making progress, and I'll continue to make progress.
Couple questions. Thank you for sharing that. When you first came in and we did the exam, you had some nerve damage. Were you expecting that it was that severe? What, based on your symptoms, like what was going through your head when you actually looked at and reviewed the results with the doctor?
It was like, oh my goodness.
Really?
that was like, oh no, what am I going to do? You know, it's sort of panicky feeling. Like I didn't know it was that bad. You know?
I see.
Or you don't, like I said, you don't think about it. You know, you just living your life, and you're sort of settling for how you feel, and you don't realize what you're missing or how you've degenerated a little bit.
I see.
So
I appreciate you sharing that, because sometimes symptoms can be very misleading. Like sometimes people's symptoms are worse than what's actually going on the inside, or sometimes their symptoms are kind of mild, but internally there's quite a bit going on. So did you find the objective testing to be valuable as far as just understanding where you were?
I think it's very motivating to see that. I mean, I think you should have the thermograph out here and do it on everybody.
Just
I think
screen everybody.
Well, just like every once in a while say, hey, you want to see how your circulation's going? And I think that would be very motivating to them.
So another question, we made some recommendations, and without getting into too much detail because they are personalized to everybody, but how did you find your ability to implement the things that we recommended for you to do?
Oh, it's a lot, you know, but we've accomplished a lot in 3 months. I mean, what I do appreciate is that y'all don't beat me up. You know, you just keep on saying, do what you can, and how can we help you?
Yes.
And instead of saying, oh my gosh, you didn't do this exercise today, so you just keep on encouraging everybody.
Sure.
And I have shown up for all my scheduled visits.
Yes.
And I've done that.
You've done your part.
I've done my part. I could do better on my exercises, and I always plan to, and I'm going to. Now that we're cutting back on the other things, now the ball is more in my court to really step up and do what I can do.
It is a lot, right? And sometimes that's a challenge, and that's why it's so helpful to have support along the way as well.
Right.
And we do, well, let me just ask you, do you feel like you had support throughout the process from our team and everybody here?
Oh, yes.
Good.
Especially when you're coming in twice a week at the beginning, and you can ask questions at any time, and you know, and if you needed more, you could schedule more. And I haven't really explored the new online option as much as I should, but I think that's going to be very helpful too.
Yes, some of the modules, like
The
as far as
modules,
just
yeah.
helping with mindset and nutrition and some of the additional things that you can do at home.
And your accountability.
Personal accountability.
Yeah, personal accountability.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you had some pretty awesome changes today, objectively, meaning that we can actually measure the results from when you first came in, the amount of sensory loss that was there on the nerves, and then also with the blood flow in the hands and the feet, and then being able to see the changes now. You've also felt the change with the symptoms. What are some things you can do now that maybe you weren't able to do before? Or what are, like, how is your confidence or joy, or like, how is life different now that you're actually making progress instead of moving in the wrong direction, let's say?
Well, I just feel more confident in meeting my goal of 2062.
2062.
Like I said, you can't wait to say, oh, I'll handle it next year. Or, you're running out of years, And so to me, it's like very encouraging because it also reemphasizes that that you can do something about your health. You're not, it's not up to a magic pill or a magic random chance. It's something that you can and with help, with guided help, that you can accomplish.
I love that.
You don't need to settle.
I love that. Well, we appreciate having you here. You're such a shining star and always brighten up our day when you come in. So thank you for that. It's been a joy working with you. Last question, is there anything that you would recommend to somebody that is considering, exploring this as an option, something that's different than the traditional approach? And then also, if you were could talk to yourself when you were in that mental headspace where it's like, I've been to the surgeons, I've been to the doctors, I had the diagnoses, they're telling me that surgery and kind of medications and covering up symptoms is the path. If you could tell something to yourself back then, what would you say to that person or to someone that's considering this as an option?
Well, it's like I'm like the frog. It sort of snuck up on me. I wish I would have been more aware. Actually, when I came here, I didn't hesitate. I didn't say I just embraced it. There were several other options I was looking at, and you have nothing to lose. You have only your health to improve. So I don't see any downside to it at all.
That's a profound wisdom right there. Well, thank you. We appreciate you, and thanks for being willing to do this and share with some other people about your experience.
Absolutely. I hope so. Awesome. And if they see me and want to talk to me, I'll be glad to talk to them.
Even better. Thank you. All right.